Everybody, Cousin It with you on Monday, July 3rd. It has been over 2 weeks since my last confession, since my last video. So I thought I would get on here and say, hey! So, hey, everybody. A lot of things going on, and a lot of it is not pretty. The results of late have not been good. I had a really bad week last week. I'm hoping that it was because I worked so much. I filled in 7 consecutive days for 8 hours in my broadcasting job, Monday through Sunday. I worked 56 hours there. I still had to work my regular job. Didn't do my normal 30-hour week. I probably did about 20, 25. But you add them up, that's about an 80-hour week. I thought I was putting in enough time, but maybe I wasn't. So yesterday I had a little more time, and, well, we saw what happened. I made some money. So I'm hoping that's the start of things. Maybe we can get on a little bit of a roll, or maybe I'm just full of it. Who knows? The intent is certainly to make some money. We'll see what happens. Well, the whale is, he's kind of sucking wind right now. He's lost 11 straight days in a row. I want you to know I just spent the last 20 minutes watching his new video. Every excuse in the book on there once again. Should have had 4 round robins, I think was one of the lines I heard. The patterns are not going the way they're supposed to be. What else? And whatever. It was a lot of boo-hooey. It's what I've been saying all along. That there's some skill in this, but this is largely a game of luck. I think we're all finding that out. I kind of think the math could work in your favor. Are we going to make all sorts of huge amounts of money? No, probably not. We could get on runs. I mean, remember, I got on a nice run when I first started this endeavor. Was up $7,000 in a couple of weeks. Now, yeah, I've given it all back. But maybe I'll if I can get up that high again, maybe I'll do a little better job of managing the money. And we'll see how that goes. So I haven't given up on it. I'm still working hard at this. I think my plays today hopefully will do well, and we'll just kind of go from there. As I mentioned, I watched the last video for 20 minutes, the new money management system, which frankly I don't understand. Hopefully it'll get explained to us. I understand it when it loses, which maybe means we'll understand it because he loses most of the time. That you're basically, if you're starting with a $1,000 bankroll, you're going to play the $5 minimums. This is what I've been talking about for weeks. You know, when the old whale tracker had plays that were, under $1 per parlay, and you can't do that in most places. He has finally admitted that most places now have a $5 minimum, which of course I've been doing all along because he didn't have much of a choice. We'll see how that goes. So I'm glad he's done that. The acceleration made absolutely no sense. If you watch the video, I hope you'll agree with me. It made no sense. So I'm hoping we'll get some clarification on that. In the meantime, I'm just going to do it kind of the way I've been doing it. If there are ever wins for the whale, which for the last 11 days there haven't been, then I'll accelerate I'll accelerate the old way until I figure out what the heck he's talking about. There have been some issues apparently in recent days, and I'm glad a couple of you have called him out on this about plays that, lately they're not getting to us in time. We had another one today. One of the round robins that came today came out about 20 minutes after 2 of the 4 had started. That was the Baltimore-Milwaukee game. He got Milwaukee, did not get the over. So he could get a 3-teamer, but I'm only going to play a 2-team play on the Yankees and the Yankees over the rest of his round robin. And if I lose that, then I'll lose. But obviously, if he gets a 3-team parlay, I'm not counting it. That's not fair. Apparently, this happened with some games yesterday as well, and it's happened a couple of other times. And when he hits them, it makes his record. It's overinflated. It's not as good as it really is, and it's not that good to begin with. Actually, it kind of sucks. So we'll see. We kind of keep that in mind. I'm glad people called him out on it. I hope you continue to do so. If I ever have any issues like that, I want you to call me out on them as well. They say that they value honesty and integrity and transparency. I'm doing it. I've had a couple of times where, excuse me, I've had a couple of times where I have made mistakes and I've just owned up to them. You know, I've put in the wrong team or whatever, and I play it the way it stands. And I think you all have seen that. So you want integrity, you're getting it from the guppy. I'm not sure you're really getting it from anybody else. But if you ever have a question or a concern that I'm not treating you straight, you please let me know, and I can assure you I will address that very, very rapidly. I don't think that'll be an issue. The only complaint I think people are going to have about me is number one, you can't see my face, and maybe that's not a complaint. You're probably better off not seeing it. And the only other complaint you're going to have about me is I'm not winning. That's a fair one. You know, let me have it if I'm not. But I think everybody's reasonable enough to understand, you know, what it is we're doing here. So we will see. I did put in today's plays already. They're on the 616 video. So I won't put them on here again. Well, okay, I'll put them on here again just in case people haven't seen it. Here are my plays for today. 2.5 units. Since I won money yesterday, I'm going to up the units a little bit. Washington run line, the Phillies, Texas, and Minnesota. That's one round robin for 2.5. Another 2.5 unit play, St. Louis, Kansas City, Colorado, and Oakland. That's St. Louis, Kansas City, Colorado, Oakland. Then I'm going to do a couple of 3-team parlays, do 2x3. Washington over, Philadelphia over, Oakland over. That's a 4-unit play. Also a 4-unit play, St. Louis under, Colorado under, Minnesota under. That's a 4-unit play. And finally, my pick of the day, my 10-unit play of the day will be Kansas City. I want to talk a little bit about the pick of the day. I started that a couple of days ago. I'm 1-2 so far, so nothing to be impressed on there. But I feel like I can at least make some money for everybody there as time goes, so we'll see how that goes. My intent is to keep them at 10 units. If I see something that I absolutely fall in love, I guess I reserve the right to up it, but I think most of them will be 10 units. That's the intent anyway. I've also decided to start keeping records of wins and losses just in general. Not whether you make money or not, but you know, the whale plays X amount of games and the guppy plays X amount of games, and I think it's useful to keep track of the record. Now, I'll do it just month by month. I won't keep that indefinitely. We'll go month by month on that like I'm doing on the units. A little bit too much work to keep track indefinitely. So I think I'm going to do it month by month. But it gives you an idea of how what rate we're picking games at. You know, if we're not picking games, if we're picking them at under 50%, you know, obviously we're not doing very well. If you're getting a little run, maybe we're picking them 60, 65%. You know, hopefully that should mean that we're making some money. But I think it's important to see that. So I'm going to start doing that. I started that a couple of days ago. And so I'll start attaching results to this video until I decide to tape another one. Seems like I'm doing them every week or two. I don't really think there's any need to do them any more than that. But again, you know, we'll chat whenever we feel we need to. So let's hope for some good luck. Let's try and make some money, and hopefully things will go better than they have been, because obviously they haven't gone well here of late. And I wish the whale luck as well. I hope because I'm playing his picks, at least most of them. So I hope he turns things around. But he's got a long way to go to turn it around to meet my specifications. And I'm still not paying for plays. Now, I'm not getting them all, which I also think is kind of ridiculous. But I'll keep going with what he's given me, what they're giving me, as long as I can. But they got a long way to go to make me any money, because we're way down. So hopefully that takes care of everything here. Again, if you got any comments, questions, concerns, fire them off to me, and let's do well. All right, 10 minutes in, I think that's enough on this video. This is the Sports Guppy, wishing you and yours a pleasant good evening.